Hello and greetings from Iceland. In this update, I will be talking about the earthquake warning that the Met Office just issued for the capital region because we have recently been hit twice with earthquakes at this very sensitive location, the Hvalhnjúkar fault. And shortly after the first two earthquakes there, little over a week ago, I flew the drone over there, like I actually mentioned in a recent update. And it turned out to be a good idea to get that footage because this has been escalating since then. And there is actually more to the story, and this photo is good at describing the big picture and the mountain pass that used to be this ancient trail between Reykjavik and the south coast. And this mountain pass is also the flood path of huge amounts of lava from ancient eruptions. And we can see the craters there. And this old aerial photo shot in the 80s. It's very good to have it for a video like this because it shows the city before we managed to hide all the lava there with houses under trees. And although this isn't my first trip up there to film, this is one of the spots where I can't get enough. Many angles to play with, and I tend to think when I'm up there, what would it mean if the systems up there would wake up like in Grindavík? Because such an event would make Grindavík look like an insignificant part of a way larger story, threatening the capital of Iceland and the greater capital region, in fact. And one of the questions that I have is, are we Icelanders making a big mistake, building so close to the plate boundaries? And I'm not the only one asking that important question. And I can promise you that this is not where geologists would build a house, because we have better building land. So I'm not talking about this earthquake warning to scare our guests. This is just the Icelandic reality, and also one of those elements that is good to know about when visiting Reykjavik. And it is good news that our houses are built to withstand whatever Mother Nature sends us from this region. It would not be like a Hollywood disaster movie, but it would shake things up, and it could be bad news for our infrastructure, like hot and cold water. And warnings like this have been a part of my channel since 2021, or to let people know what's going on, and a link to news sources while I explain things to the best of my knowledge. And this is not the first video that I make about the earthquake that could await us there. Things have been shaky ever since the first eruption started on the peninsula, and it can be argued that if the big fault there that we expect to snap was moving to such an event, it might have snapped earlier because the complete peninsula was shaking a lot from 2021 to 2023, and it should have been enough to trigger the big one. But the fault up there, it still remains locked and loaded. It produced a magnitude 6.4 in 1929 and a magnitude 6.1 in 1968. So it's generally believed that the next one is due. But this earthquake warning, it came with a little twist. The Met Office was also pointing out that the nearby Krýsuvík region is behaving strangely. Both uplift and subsidence have been measured, and although the area has shown such fluctuations before, the deformation appears faster than previously observed. So further analysis is underway according to the Met Office. And that is good news, because I'm having a hard time seeing the earthquakes there be related to the magma chamber that has been feeding the eruptions by Grindavík. But that has been the official explanation for a long time, or triggered earthquakes. But I have always looked at this area as it's doing its own things on its own terms. And there is actually a new study out there showing magma under almost the complete peninsula. So there is lots to learn about the plumbing system under there and how things connect. Like the research professor Ármann Höskuldsson, he made it public just a few months ago that he looks at the Krýsuvík system as already woken up. As for the deformation data alone and the building policy around the city is a reason enough alone to study this development seriously, or like this 80s photo is showing so well, numerous lava streams through the city, in addition to numerous other formations that indicate huge events in our backyard. So I think the Met Office is on the right path, or finally saying that we need to look better into this as a separate event. And I think it was very wise to issue this earthquake warning, keeping this threat on the table. So when and if this earthquake hits, it won't be as much of a surprise. And that earthquake would actually not be a part of the Krýsuvík system, as the systems are defined. But the Krýsuvík system would, however, be affected by this. Like in 1929, the magnitude 6.4 earthquake that struck then, it is responsible for this hot spring by the Lake Glervatn. So this earthquake alone could easily cause some permanent changes in the dynamics there, and likely to be a major event, very close to the city. And if it's not a priority to know what's going on 15 kilometers away from the capital, there is something fundamentally wrong with our attitude, because it's not as we lack building land at better locations when it comes to geology, but we tend to forget that this is Iceland, always alive, always on the move. Or, as I mentioned recently, the next big event on the Reykjanes Peninsula, it might not be about the systems by Grindavík, and the seismometers say it all. And with that, I'm sending you best regards from the volcano island, Iceland.